You remember, Yoruba has never called for the proscription of Fulani headsmen. Never, because they are cowards. IPOB was proscribed. Yoruba media was jumping up and down. The IPOB was proscribed in somebody's office without any hearing. A Fulani man took prescription of IPOB to a Fulani judge. It was agreed. Do you know what happened? We filed an appeal for nearly 2 years, over 2 years now. They've not heard the appeal. Do you see the way they work? Do you see how the zoo, do you see why Nigeria is a zoo? It took you less than 5 minutes to prescribe IPOB. Now we are saying, okay, you've prescribed us. Let us go back to your court. Let the world hear what crimes IPOB committed to deserve or to warrant being labeled a terrorist group. Now you don't want to hear it. Some of you don't know that the case came up for hearing on Monday. This week, Monday. You know what they did? They adjourned it again to October. Do you know why they don't want to hear it? The Nigerian judiciary, the Fulani judiciary of Nigeria don't want to hear that very case on terrorism. Do you know why? Because they have nothing against IPOB. And if they hear it, they are bound by law to lift that ban, to lift that terrorist tag on IPOB. So what they have done is to move it to October, waiting for Binta Nyako to convict somebody. So they can use it to say, oh, after all, Binta Nyako has convicted one of them. That is why we are now insisting that IPOB is a terrorist group. So you don't know that? Because there's no other reason. I have a case against the Federal Republic of Nigeria before ECOWAS court. Do you know that ECOWAS court has never ruled on my case? They've never heard it. Nigeria, every day Nigeria will say, give us time, give us time, for 4 years now, 4 good years, give us time, give us time. If you claim that I committed this heinous crime, why can't you come and tell ECOWAS court what I did? They bribed over the whole of ECOWAS court to a point. ECOWAS asked my lawyer to go and translate his submissions to French. We had to send the documents to France. IPOB paid. We shipped documents from zoo, from ECOWAS court in Abuja to France to go and interpret for them into French and brought it back. It has never happened before. That is what we are encountering, that we don't. My goodness me. When I say the zoo must fall, now you're beginning to understand it. There is no justice. I took them to court before Africa Union. Africa Union, Nigeria has never responded. They are running from that court. They are running from ECOWAS. The only reason why you see Binta Nyako jumping up and down like a peacock on heat is because she's Fulani. She's trying to save her husband and her son. It's their business. They made this possible. I never wanted to go this far, exposing the zoo judiciary. But I'm not a lawyer. We have expensive lawyers here in England. Wait now until we go to a court in England. And I'm waiting for them. I am waiting. Please, put it in the head of the zoo to apply to Interpol. I am begging you. God in heaven, I'm begging you. Let them issue an international arrest warrant. I am begging you. Kamla Hani. I'll destroy them before a decent judge that actually knows the law. Not fools like Binta Nyako. Up until today, not one single credible witness nor evidence has been presented before Binta Nyako. I want Yoruba vindictive media. I want Yoruba media to ask Labaran, the chief prosecutor, to ask the AGF, Attorney General, ask them, what is that evidence against Nnamdi Kanu? What is it? Can we see it? All of you follow legal cases all over the world. When you're trying somebody for something, you say, oh, he or she committed murder. Here's the murder weapon. Here is the dead body. Here is the blood all over the place. This is... Show me one shred of evidence. I said one to justify treasonable felony. That I called Buhari a pedophile is a crime that Binta Nyako is sitting on. When the law says that Buhari, when he was alive, should come to court, he should take me to a civil court. But Binta Nyako admitted it as a criminal charge. The law says that the highest thing that Buhari could have done when he was alive was to take me to a civil court for defamation or for libel. Do you know that Binta Nyako accepted this as a criminal charge against me? And these are judges. My Lord, my learned Lord, as your Lord pleases, you don't know that the person sitting in front of you is an empty bag. He's a complete idiot when it comes to law. I called Buhari a pedophile before he died. The idiot Diana is Jibril. Everybody knows that. You keep deceiving your useless selves. And not we Biafrans. I called him a pedophile. And he is a pedophile. And in the grave where he is in hell, wherever he is in hell right now, Buhari is in hell and he's a pedophile. Binta Nyako accepted that. They wrote it down. He insulted the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He called the president the incarnation of evil and a pedophile. Binta Nyako, a judge that went to school, accepted this as a criminal charge. And these are learned people. These are learned. They are learned. Who are learned? That's how foolish they are. Binta Nyako has no jurisdiction to hear my case. She must hear the application before her challenging the jurisdiction of her court. We must be heard. Binta Nyako chooses which application to entertain and which one to reject. No judge in the world worth her salt will ever ride roughshod over the sensitive issue of jurisdiction in her own court. Nobody does, only Binta Nyako. Up until today, as I'm sitting down here tonight, broadcasting to the whole world, there is no single shred of evidence against me. Not one. Not one against Madabubu. Not one against Brad Chimeziation. Not one against David. Not one against Woody. I said not one. And now let me shock people tonight. I am not a lawyer, but common sense dictates that we must if not understand, but at least appreciate an appreciation of what is right and what is wrong. Remember that they charged us with terrorism. Have you forgotten? You've forgotten. And that was expunged from the charges. Do you know why they brought in terrorism charge? Was because of the statement of Chidebere Onwudiwe. Listen carefully to this. The statement that they tortured Chidebere Onwudiwe to give in detention, electrocuted him, forced him to write something. They wrote something and asked him to copy it, and he copied. Listen carefully, please. On the strength of that very witness or testimony from Chidebere Onwudiwe, they added terrorism to our charges, if you can remember then. We had a very brilliant lawyer, a man called Adoga. He came to court and he argued that Chidebere Onwudiwe did not commit any terrorist act. Even if we take this statement that you forced him to write, what he's guilty of, if at all, is intention to. And the law of Nigeria says, this was the law they made for Boko Haram. The law of Nigeria says that until you catch a Boko Haram person in the act of committing a terrorist act, you must take him to magistrate court and to rehabilitation. Listen carefully, please. Chidebere Onwudiwe was therefore, that statement he gave was that led to the charge of terrorism was removed. And Binta Nyako had no choice but to acknowledge and dismiss that very charge. We are no longer answering or to terrorism charge. Understand it, we are no longer answering to terrorism charge. Listen carefully. But that same statement that led to the framing of terrorist charges against us that was dismissed by the court is what Binta Nyako brought again this week. Even at a very low level, there's something called double jeopardy. You cannot charge somebody on a statement, dismissed, you still bring that statement back again in a court. Do you know why they're doing it? Do you know why they are doing it? They are doing it because they want to convict somebody or convict Chidebere on terrorism charge. So come October, Court of Appeal will say, one of you was convicted of terrorist-related whatever nonsense. Because of that, IPOB is a terrorist group. You don't know that's why they're doing it? So you don't know? That is why they're doing what they're doing. Very sad indeed, isn't it? But we're here to expose. I'm on air now. If it means I have to come on air every blessed day to expose this way, I will do so. Since they don't like respect, they are so stupid. Do I look like somebody you can threaten with your stupid revocation and all of a sudden I'll keep quiet? Are you drunk? Are you mad? Is your senses, your faculties, are they dysfunctional? Don't you know who I am? The entire case against me and my people is based on a mythical witness, which they have so far failed to produce in court. And tonight I wish to place it on record that Binta Nyako has no shred of evidence before her court to justify the mess she is making of justice. When I asked for jurisdiction to be determined on this very case, prima facie, if anybody can remember, in 2016, early 2017, Binta Nyako said in her ruling, and I'll ask it to be made public tomorrow, in her own ruling, Binta Nyako was asked to rule on what evidence are the charges of treasonable felony based. She said, this is her ruling, her own words, I have no evidence before me to justify this case going forward. However, the prosecution has assured me that they have a witness and a video. So, Madam Judge, you're telling me that you are keeping people in prison, collecting 40 million from them to give them bail based on something you have not seen as a judge, something that Labran told you, something the AGF told you, and we are waiting till today, we have not seen anything. Do you see how their law works in the zoo? Do you see how their law works in the damnable zoological republic? Do you see it? We are in a court of law where the evidence, there is something called rules of disclosure. I didn't write these things down anywhere. It's just pure common sense. If you watch ordinary courtroom drama, you know all these things. Rules on evidence disclosure means that anything that the prosecution has against the defense or the defendants, they must disclose it to the lawyers defending the people so they can prepare for it or prepare an appropriate response. They have not disclosed anything to the defense team. What Binta Nyako does is to go behind and after drinking their fura dununu, or is it upunu or whatever they call it, they sit down and they plot. A judge and the prosecutor sitting down and plotting how to ambush our lawyers in the court the next day. That's what they do. That is what they do. How to ambush our lawyers the next day. If not, how as a judge, God, I don't know why Fulani people don't have conscience. As a judge, shouldn't you be asking the prosecution, where is that witness you told me has all the evidence to incriminate the accused? Where is that witness? Where is the video you're talking about? There is nothing. You know the video they're talking about? They're talking about a video I actually posted myself online. when I inspected the container that brought back or that was housing our AM transmitter, the very expensive AM transmitter. That's saboteurs from Bilia went and told government where it was, and they carried it. So you don't know. Video that I made and I posted, and I said, with this very transmitter, we'll bring the zoo down. That is the video they are going to show Bintan Yako. And that's all. And you've allowed this case to continue in your court, knowing fully well that no crime was committed, knowing fully well that no evidence exists to contradict what we are telling you so far. But you've allowed the case to continue because you want to save your husband and your son. Whereas we're expendable. Of course, why won't we be? Have they not made an attempt to take the plaza from us in Lagos? Did they not stop us from voting in Abuja? Did they not stop us from voting in Lagos and in Kanu? Did anything come of it? The answer is no. There are some people that were stopped from voting in Lagos, Abuja, and Kanu who are still shouting one Nigeria today. That's how foolish some people are. For most of those Yoruba tabloid newspapers that took it upon themselves to defend injustice, I have a question for you. I am asking I'm asking them tonight, where on earth have you witnessed a trial of treasonable felony without any evidence? No gun, no bomb, no plot, nothing. Show me where on this earth. Oh, Nnamdi Kanu bail revoked, arrest warrant issued. No, I keep saying, no wonder Africa is so backwards. We are evil. This is royal, I'm telling you. When you come to Yoruba, you will see what the essence, you see what it means to be evil. Evil. Cunning and evil. From within. They never stand on the truth. I am asking them a question tonight. For you to be charged with treasonable felony anywhere in the world, you must have to be an armed group, insurrection, rebellion, just name it. Boko Haram is seeking to create an Islamic state in the northeast of Nigeria. When you arrest a Boko Haram suspect, you don't charge them with treasonable felony. You only charge them with acts preparatory to terrorism or whatever nonsense they call it. And you release them. And you put them in the Nigerian army. I only broadcast. And you came with the Air Force, Navy, Land Patrol, everything to my house to come and kill me. Courtesy of Ohaneze and Okezi with Dave Umahi. That they cleverly rigged back into power as if we don't know that's what they're going to do. Of course we know that's what they will do. We know that's what they will do. Yoruba must ask themselves this question. Where is that evidence against Nnamdi Kanu and his co-defendants to justify treasonable felony charge? Do you see why I called Nigeria a zoo? Because they cannot reason. Oh my goodness. Zoo. Those they call Nigerians cannot reason like human beings. How can you accuse somebody of murder without telling us who the victim is? No dead body was found, no murder weapon, nothing at all. And you're trying somebody for murder. That is exactly what we're passing through. That is what Bintan Yako is doing. Because having accused me of treasonable felony, they have failed to date to provide any shred of evidence to back up their claim. None whatsoever. No, I said none. Zero, none. So what other evidence are you going to bring? Is it what you tortured out of Chidebere Onwudiwe you're hoping to use to convict people? What is it, I'm asking? Where is that evidence? That is why I couldn't have run away from your court, because you have no evidence against me. Why would I run when there's no evidence against me? You held me in detention for nearly 2 years. No evidence against me. Is it now you're going to produce it? You tried to convince some riffraffs around Biafra land to testify against me. They couldn't come because Habieli Hanan, they know that very well. Because I broadcast on Radio Biafra. That's all. That's the crime I've committed. I'm asking for the freedom of my people. Oh dear. It is highly unfortunate that Binta Nyako, through her actions and conduct, may have given her approval for the invasion of my house with the sole intention to kill me, since she lacked the evidence to convict me in a court of law. By revoking my bail, I am now convinced that Binta Nyako is part of the plot to kill me. That is why she doesn't want to talk about it. She does not, shame won't allow her for that very invasion to be discussed in her court because she was a part of it. She was a part of it. And she's supposed to be a high court judge, planning the murder of somebody she's supposed to be protecting. How everybody's brain in the zoo was cleaned up. People forgot that my house was invaded. People forgot the people that I lost. They just, overnight, they forgot. And you're telling me that they are human beings? No, of course not. They are not. And they can never be. Binta Nyako is part of the plot to kill me. If not, she would have asked questions about how the military invaded my house and killed 28 of my men, including Jack, my dog. What Binta Nyako is saying by her actions is that the death of 28 human beings is of no consequence to her, because those that killed them are Fulani people. I hope now it's beginning to make sense, isn't it? Any sensible or reasonable judge, any judge anywhere in the world, even a judge working for Satan, for Lucifer, any judge anywhere in the world would have recognized that I am a ward of the court and therefore entitled to a measure of protection. Even this simple logic is lost on Binta Nyako and her cattle-loving Fulani cabal. That is why the zoo can never move forward. That is why they can never be civilized. There is no country run by a Fulani person that is advanced. Go and check your history. Use your common sense. Go and look at it. If not for the vigilance of my defense team in the handling of the case of the shorties, by now, Binta Nyako would have put Abaribe in jail. But we fought her to a standstill. You asked somebody to come and shorty somebody, and they did. Your own army, with your own connivance, came to kill that person. And luckily, that person escaped and remained alive. And you want me to forfeit my bail bond? Are you not an evil woman? A Yoruba idiot will tell you, but it's a shorty. The law says the shorty must produce. Are you daft? Somebody is coming to your house. You ask me to go and pick up somebody. I'm a taxi driver. I went to go and pick up somebody. The person didn't make it to your house. The person died in a motor accident. And you're in your house insisting, you must bring that person on. I'm telling you, the person is dead. Are Nigerians that stupid? So I'm a son, a senior advocate. The shorties must. What is the meaning of force majeure? You went to law school. Did you not go to law school? Unforeseen circumstances. The army came. What were the army doing in my house? You don't want to know. So because you want me dead. You want me dead. I thank my defense team that made it possible for those that stood shorty for me not to lose anything, because the case will be heard in appeal court and it will also go to Supreme Court. And each step of the way, the nonsense that Binta Nyako is doing in her court will be exposed. I feel sorry for her. Binta Nyako should go and ask John Tozo what I did to him. I'll do to Binta Nyako. I will publish the appeal court ruling on John Tozo, that idiot that was hired by Buhari to jail me. And I told him he's a drunkard. He cannot jail me. I'll publish it. How John Tozo rubbished himself. He's a high court judge, he's in court, still sitting, having somersaulted on the law. There's something I'll do to Binta Nyako, so she will know how serious I am. When I fight to the death. I don't stop halfway. And the zoo will find out very, very shortly. So because I told you I'm coming, you think you can tell Interpol. So you think if you inform, you see how foolish you are in Nigeria. So you think if you tell Interpol and they put my name on the red watch, somehow I cannot move about. You're foolish. I will take Interpol to court. So you don't know you can take Interpol to court? You think that Europe is the zoo. You think Europe is Africa, where police can do anything and the army can do it. No, let Interpol try it. I'll take them to court. You hear about it. It will be on TV. It will be everywhere. And then the world will hear about Binta Nyako and what she does in her court. This time, a proper judge that is learned will be hearing the case. Not monkeys with a wig. A human being, a judge will hear the case. The death of my people doesn't matter. Binta Nyako wanted to collect 300 million for Nigeria from my shorties, but she failed. She failed. How many Fulani people charged with far more heinous crimes ever posted a cash bond? Ask yourself this question. How many Fulani people come to court and pay cash to Nigeria? You know, to get bail. The Binta Nyako took money from us. From IPOB, 40 million from IPOB, to grant my co-defendants bail. 4 people who are coming to court today. Of course, will come to court. Had they not come to my house and killed the neighbor, of course I will go to court. I told them I was coming, but then they came to my house to kill me. But Yoruba won't write about that, you see, because they're evil. They are evil. They will get their comeuppance very, very soon. How many Fulani people post cash bond in Nigeria? I'm asking. This is the question that I want Binta Nyako and that idiot they sent to Enugu to answer. How many Fulani headsmen hacking people to death have you asked to deposit cash bond as part of their bail condition? You don't even bring them to court. They are sacking villages, destroying people's livelihood. They don't come to court. Yoruba won't write because Yoruba is a coward. They won't write about it. All they're interested is Nnamdi Kanu, terrorism, Fulani, barely revolt, jumping up and down like a baboon. I want Binta Nyako to answer my questions. How many Fulani headsmen have you asked to deposit cash bond for killing people? Talk less of convicting them. How many Boko Haram suspects have you ever demanded cash bond from? I go through your court records. The answer is none. But because we are Biafrans, because the zoo bribed most countries to despise Biafra. That is why you think you can get away with any nonsense against us. But no, you can't. Because Chukwuka is with us. This is confirmation that we Biafrans are not wanted in the contraption called Nigeria. One law for the Fulani and another law for the rest of the people. That is why the zoo must fall. That is why we must do everything within our powers to ensure the collapse of the damnable zoological republic. Fulani is taking everybody for a ride. A very big ride for that matter. And by the time you wake up, it will be too late. I can assure you. When I speak, write it down on a piece of paper. When it happens, there is nothing I say that never comes to pass. Buhari is dead, buried in Saudi Arabia. The idiot you're looking at is Jubril al-Sudani from Sudan. Everybody knows. Except the monkeys in the zoo. They are ganging up because of Biafra. But that is also their downfall and the downfall of the zoo. I thank you all very much for listening. When next I will come on air, I shall notify you. But until then, from me, from here, it is good evening.